prolonged drug use changes the brain in fundamental and long-lasting ways.
That almost sounds to me like an excuse. What is that, like a free pass so he can relapse and it's okay?
No, actually, it's the opposite of that. Coming to treatment here, going to your community meetings, your 12-step meetings, learning the skills and tools that help you stay sober actually gives you more responsibility to manage your condition. Unfortunately, there is no cure for addiction. It is a chronic condition. But if you don't use, you may never have a symptom if you apply the skills. It's very similar to other conditions that we're very comfortable in working with in our culture, like diabetes or asthma or hypertension. Those are not curable. They're chronic conditions which are often quite well managed with no symptoms.
When my parents attended the Family Ed in treatment, I think it helped them to understand what I was experiencing and why I did some of the things I did. And it helped them to be more open to me and more interested in how they can help.
Julia, what are your expectations of Carlos?
Well, I know how hard Carlos works. But I don't think he knows how hard I work.
This process of trust takes time to rebuild. A person can't will themselves to trust. But I guarantee you, the longer you stay sober, the more your families begin to trust you again. I'm wondering if any of the family members here would like to talk about the trust issue from their perspective. Gretchen.
Yes. With my daughter Michelle here, the trust is not back yet 100%. A good example is when she does not come home when she's supposed to, and I start thinking that she's using again.
So when she's late and she doesn't call, it reminds you, it triggers you to think of the old times because of all the past history.
That's very true, yes.
Like to talk about that from your perspective, Michelle?
When my mom questioned me about coming home late, I immediately got defensive. It made me feel like she was accusing me of relapsing or using, and that wasn't the case. I was just out with some friends having fun, and I had forgot to call. When I thought about it, I realized that she was just questioning me because she was concerned and she cared, and then I understood why.
I think the toughest things in recovery are dealing with family, repairing those bridges, going back and looking at what you've done or what they've done and dealing with those feelings that you've ran from for so many years.
No. What? Precise.
Precise, yes.
1, 2, boom, like that.
1, 2, boom. Very nice. Show off. Oh.
I don't have all the trust right there, but I'm working on it. It's coming slowly but sure, and I like it.
I have a better relationship with my kids. They're rooting for me, you know? And as long as I have them on my side, I know that I can make it.
When I gave up using meth, I thought I was going to be a very lonely person. I quickly realized that through treatment, I had gained a whole new host of friends, people who, like myself, were dealing with addiction.
The most important thing that helped me was making friends that understood what I was going through, that had been through it before, that I could talk to, and that I could trust.
I still attend 12-step meetings. I still stay connected to the program. I still have a sponsor to this day.
I was spiritually broken, completely bankrupt. I'm just now getting to where I have a God of my understanding, and I'm able to talk with him and trust him with my day-to-day problems.
As we go through treatment, we learn the skills to lead a healthy, balanced life. This includes improving our parenting skills, finding a job, and increasing our career opportunities by going back to school or beginning a job training program.
Okay, you may not think that you have the experience or the skills to put together a resume, but I'm going to show you that you do.
Does 5 years of using count as experience?
The parenting class taught me to be consistent in his life, taught me to not give up and just be positive about the situation, and it may take some time. And because they prepared me for that, I'm able to deal with it today, with his attitudes towards me, his ups and downs.
Another really important aspect of recovery is how do I live a good, balanced life. How do I have fun becomes critical. How do I build in new activities in my life that I've always wanted to try, but how do I reintegrate the activities and things I used to do before I started using that I used to enjoy, and how do I get back to that?
You know, there's a million things to do out there. You know, I can go for a bike ride, I can get lost in work, I can go see family, friends, cook dinner, all the things that I really loved to do before.
I find that fishing, just being in the wilderness for me it's fun. It's a relief. You get out of the city for a little while, you get to breathe some clean air, and it's something that I love.
Working out for me has really helped me in my recovery. That after a good session on the treadmill, usually I feel better right after.
Right now, fun for me is spending time with my kids and getting reacquainted with them and having fun with them.
I'm relearning who I am, that there are so many things out there in the world that give me enjoyment, not just being holed up in a little room in scary situations, shooting drugs with people I don't know.
One of the most significant adjustments we have to make in recovery is learning how to enjoy our sexual relationships without meth. Early in recovery, we may feel that sex without meth isn't pleasurable or even possible. But with time, we can discover how to enjoy sex again and build fulfilling, intimate relationships.
If you've gotten used to engaging in any kind of sexual behavior when you're on a stimulant, especially if you're on methamphetamine, the normal sex without the drug will feel flat for a while. There's no easy way around that.
Trying to have intimacy with somebody for the first time and not have that drug there available for you, I think, yeah, I felt triggered. Intimacy and recovery was hard to adjust to, but it's way more beautiful once you get to that place where you're trying to go than the false appearance that meth gives it.
I've kind of learned to enjoy sex again, which I'm really glad, because for a while I didn't think that was going to happen.
When I was on meth, I always felt like it helped me be more intimate with people. I know now that was a total misconception.
In hindsight, I should have seen it coming, but it was the perfect setup. You know, I wasn't happy with who I wasn't happy with my weight. I was pretty much just making excuses to fall back in.
I could have a drink, I could smoke a joint, and I would be just fine. You don't think that it's going to lead you right back to where you started.
I had about 6 years clean, and I was president of the Parent-Teacher Association. We were working late one night. Some of the moms took it out, and that was all it took.
I was way too comfortable. I stopped going to my meetings. I stopped, hanging around with clean people. One day I had a fight with my wife. I wasn't able to control it. So I decided to go, picked up, and do it in front of her. I just kept going and going for 7 years.
Hey, hon. I'm heading out in a little bit to go watch the game over at Gabe's house.
No, you said we were supposed to go to the movies together.
I know, but I've been cooped up in here all week.
No, you don't understand. I need you to be here. You said that. No, you don't understand.
Supporting you, but I need a break. I've been here every night.
This is not support. Support is being with me. Not leaving and sitting and drinking beer. Support is being with me. Carlos, you're not listening to me.
Relapse doesn't occur without warning. We experience what's called relapse drift, or the slow movement away from the things that keep us grounded in recovery and toward our old addictive thinking and behavior. Using alcohol or other drugs significantly increases our chances of relapsing on meth. Other warning signs include skipping meetings, hanging out with old friends, and justifying reasons for use. Sometimes we don't even notice this is happening until it's too late. If we do relapse, we may feel confused or ashamed.
I was just disgusted with myself. I couldn't believe that I did this again. After everything that I had just went through, in a matter of seconds, I threw it all away. And that gave me every reason just to continue to get high. So I just continued.
Relapse is discouraging for everyone involved and can have serious consequences. But the reality is that many of us in recovery relapse at some point. Addiction is a chronic disorder that requires ongoing monitoring and sometimes multiple treatments. In many ways, addiction is similar to other chronic illnesses such as diabetes, hypertension, and asthma. Relapse rates for addiction and other chronic diseases are similar. When well managed, symptoms remain in remission. But if we veer off track, relapse can occur. This may happen days, weeks, or years after we have stopped using. If we do relapse, it's important to get back into treatment.
The judge came through with this part. He followed through and did everything just like he said he would. I'd missed my test. I was on zero tolerance. I was sent to jail. It was a huge wake-up call.
Nobody is exempt from relapse. I've relapsed. I gave it dirty, and I went to jail. I had to go in front of a drug court judge and admit what I had done and suffer the hit on that.
Urine testing is an important part of most treatment plans. It's easy to think of this as punishment or a statement of mistrust, but really, these tests are designed to help us stay off meth. If we know we'll be tested, it can remove the temptation to use, thinking we can get away with it. It is also a way to acknowledge when we relapse, so we get the support we need to adjust our treatment plan and improve our chances of success.
I went back home, and everything was exactly how I left it. The stuff was everywhere. So I used.
Many of us need to go through treatment more than once or try more than one program. The longer we stay in treatment, the better our chances of staying off meth. If we keep going, eventually we'll make it.
First, I tried a outpatient program, and it didn't work very well for me. And then I went to an inpatient program, and that was the second time, and it didn't work very well for me either. But the last time that I was arrested for possession, the judge just made a mark on my life. He says, you're either going to rehab or you're going to prison. It kind of hit me then. You know, it really hit me.
For some reason, I had it in my head that you go through the program and you fail and they kick you out, and that's it. And it began to dawn on me, the doors are open. I can keep doing it until I get it right, until something really starts working for me.
When I entered back into drug court from where I was 5 months prior, was a 180-degree turn.
Okay. And what are you most proud of right now?
The relationship I have with my kids.
Getting that back's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you've done a good job, and a big turnaround since you came back. Let's move into your next phase.
I was serious about my life. I was serious about recovery. I was serious about doing the things that I needed to do. And that was a far cry from where I was before.
Julia, oh, you look wonderful.
In continuing care, we learn how to nurture a healthy, full life while staying connected to treatment. There is no single formula for success. But one thing is for sure, recovery is like walking up a down escalator. If we don't keep moving forward, we'll slide backward toward relapse.
Sometimes I feel in a rut or like I'm living the same day over and over, but that's just telling me that I need to get to a meeting, I need to do something because I'm falling into an old behavior, something's going on.
The things I need to do more than anything is continually be involved with people that have gone through recently or are going through the same thing I am. Because I know that if I don't, then it's really easy for me to kind of forget and fall into the same trap.
My resume?
Thank you.
Continuing care is all about keeping up the treatment process. Having an ongoing plan for staying off meth is crucial to maintaining our recovery. We can stay connected through alumni events, continuing care groups, and 12-step meetings.
I actually just got a job as a computer technician, so I guess all those years of taking stuff apart and putting it back together and tweaking it just kind of paid off.
Religious activities, volunteer work, community involvement, and playing sports can all be elements of an ongoing care program. Recovery is like getting into good physical condition. If we exercise vigorously, we can improve our physical health and get in better shape. But if we stop exercising, the gains we've made will fade away.
This seems like the longest journey I've ever been on in my life, and I still have a long ways to go. When I walk out of those gates and doors, I want to go get my kids, I want to go to school, I want to go to work, so I don't fall back into that trap.
I got a master's degree. I did a lot of things to educate myself, and also I did a lot of spiritual searching.
I work as a drug counselor now. I still go to my meetings because that's just something that's gonna be with me for the rest of my life. I will never be recovered. It's never gonna leave me.
Just as we all have unique needs and goals, there are many different roads to recovery. Each of us has to find our own way. But it helps to remember that we are not alone and we can have a fulfilling life again.
Treatment opened the door to the possibilities of getting out in the world. The resources are there. It's up to me to use them. And I do. I can maintain this good thing that I've gotten, and that I don't have to use meth ever again.
Everything has improved in my life since recovery. My relationships, the way I feel about myself, the way I treat myself, the way I treat others, just all the way around, everything is slowly improving.
I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe in anything around me, but once you got me clean, then I could see a different person. Somebody who has feelings and emotions and loves and cares and can do great things if he chooses to.
I'm just reaching for the sky and reaching my goals, and I've never had that before. And I just want to maintain that. I want to keep going.
It's not all easy. It's not all happy faces. But if you're willing to work for it, you can get everything back. This program has taught me that. 12 steps have taught me that. Rehab has taught me that. It's an amazing journey to be able to get everything back. Recover the life you once had. Anything is possible. Anything.
It's your time. It's time.